Welcome back to state-sponsored conspiracy podcast, voted number one in podcasting by both the CIA and the FBI. My code name for this episode will be Crystal Camel, and joining me is Gwyneth Paltrow. Hello.
Thank you for that excellent code name.
It's very relevant to today's episode.
I can see where that's going. I don't understand why you're Crystal Camel. Will that also be revealed later?
Maybe, if you're good. If you cooperate.
Were you just thinking of Crystal Castles?
No, but that's good too. Maybe we can do an episode on them and why their music is so bad. Last time it was my turn to do research. I got a bit lost in the conspiratorial sauce, but you know, after a quick and forcible re-education program, I am now 96% conspiracy free. I don't believe in anything now. Maybe like JFK was killed by the CIA, but you know, that's like
nope, not even that.
Okay, not even that one. Maybe Bush in 9/11, but this time I am wholly ready to present to you the facts, nothing but the facts about some completely unfactual claims. Now, before we get into this episode's topic of alternative medicine, what news do you have about our Twitter and email, Miss Gwyneth Paltrow?
Well, first of all, Crystal Camel, I don't love that. I guess I'm just going to let you get away with saying Crystal Castle sucks. But there is huge news. Huge news. The Twitter name has been changed to State-Sponsored Conspiracy Podcast, which means there is now a Twitter. We will be tweeting every hour. Great posts, great memes, information, and there's also an email. This is huge as well. There is now an email. You can send us an email.
It's a new technology. We just invented, just came out. What is the email address that the listeners can use?
It is in the description. It is statsponconpod.
Great.
That's the Twitter as well. So you can contact us with whatever you want.
Congrats to both of us. And what might I say, what an honor it is for you to be able to contact us directly.
It is a big honor for them. But I think that's all the announcements I have. I think we can get this show on the road here.
To start off, I want to play a little game with you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a couple medicinal practices, and I want you to tell me which one you think is real and which ones I made up. Okay?
Okay.
Number A, psychic surgery. Number B, energy holograms. Number C, vaginal steaming. All right, go ahead and tell me which one you think is the real one.
I think you made C sound realistic on purpose as a trick. I'm going to go with A.
All right. Now, for the listener at home, I assume you also chose a letter. But it doesn't matter what your answer was because these are all real. I didn't make these up. These are all things.
Good.
These are all things that people do and believe in, but you know, at the same time, I guess at the same time they're also made up because they're all fake. There's no science. It's stupid. I don't know why real, regular, not magic, scientific medicine isn't enough for people. Maybe they think it's too boring to just, you know, pop a Tylenol or go see a licensed medical professional. I don't know.
That sounds lame and boring. I want psychic surgery and steam.
You want steam up your cooch. All right. Well, let's get into psychic surgery. I want to tell you about that because this is probably one of the stupidest things I've ever read about in my life, and you know, I use Twitter frequently, so
this is saying something.
Yeah. Okay, so psychic surgery is where a guy does surgery on you while you're awake, and boom, you're healed. No more sickness, no more tumor, no more die, no death. You're Gucci. Okay? But it's actually just them using their bare hands and fake blood and animal guts, whatever, to make it look like they're doing surgery on you. And you're watching them do it, but they're just like poking and pinching you to make it like hurt.
Do they claim to be using psychic powers to move your internal organs, or are they legitimately tricking people into thinking that they performed surgery when they actually didn't?
Option B. They are literally just using fake blood and animal parts and sleight of hand to make it look like they're doing surgery.
But the patient thinks that a surgery is being performed.
Yes, because they're getting like poked and prodded and it hurts a little bit because they're getting like pinched or whatever.
So this is more like a scam.
Yes.
Huh.
But please answer the question. How do they explain the no surgery scars? Please take your best guess.
I bet they say they have healing powers to heal the scars.
Yes. You might think that they would have some sort of clever way to disguise it if they're gonna already go through the trouble of like sleight of hand or whatever. But yeah, they just claim to have the power to make it heal instantaneously. It's so dumb.
So do the patients think that the doctor has psychic powers?
Yes.
So that's why they don't need like equipment or anything.
They fully believe it.
But do they think that they're like what does the patient think is happening?
That they're getting surgery done on them and then it's getting healed instantly.
Like with this
I know it sounds stupid, but that's what's happening.
Hold on. Can they see? So they're awake. The patient is awake.
Yes.
So they can see. Can they see what's happening?
Yeah, they can. They look down and they see a guy digging around in their stomach or whatever, and there's blood and like little guts flying out, and they're like, "Damn, he's doing surgery on me."
But they use sleight of hand to block this.
Yeah, it looks real, and it feels kind of real. You might think, oh, like open heart surgery might hurt a bit more than that, but I'm getting like poked a bit. I guess they're doing surgery on me. Sometimes. Okay, so if you can already believe that the patients think they're getting healed instantly, there's going to be no scars or incisions or whatever. Well, this next part it's going to sound stupid to you and me, but to the patient and the people who believe in this, it's going to make total sense. Sometimes the guy who's doing psychic surgery puts little props in there, like a spooky ghost toy or something, to make it look like they excised like bad voodoo, like a spirit pranked them with like a baggie of thumbtacks or something.
All right.
So they're like, "Oh, I found this shard of glass in there. Ooh man, some devil must have put it in there." And then the patient's like, "Oh man, thanks."
Now that is pretty crazy. However, this is what I thought you were going to say, because we're clearly in such weird territory here. I thought you were going to say that the psychic doctors bang the patients.
That probably happens probably 10% of the time.
It would not surprise me. Is this a thing in America?
It had a little bit of it was a little bit in America and Canada, but like it was more in the form of psychic dentistry. So I mean, if you're touching people's teeth, it's gonna feel like something's going on in there anyway. So and they can't even see it, so it's gonna be much easier to pull off. But this thing mostly happened in Brazil and the Philippines, and that's where it stays.
So the term you're using is psychic dentistry. Is this the term that the patients themselves would use? Do they go up to someone who is a self-proclaimed psychic dentist? Or do they think they're going to a real dentist?
They think they're going to a real dentist with the power to make things they think they're going to a real practitioner with powers to do it fast and clean and near painlessly.
Okay, so that's how the dentist will advertise himself.
Yeah. So you shouldn't really feel bad for the victims of this, because they are also stupid.
This is a good scam, though.
It is. Well, okay, in the Brazilian version of this, I think the number I saw was like 20% of the time they throw in some like actual surgery. But I think that only goes as far as like cutting someone open and then doing like the regular magic tricks, and then having a licensed professional like do the suture, like close them up. Which I don't really know what the point of that is, to actually do surgery and still fake it. But yeah.
Maybe they just do a quick cut to make it seem believable.
It's weird. It's weird that, I mean, what I found was that it specifies that they have someone who's licensed, like, close it up. Like, I don't know why the scammer is confident in cutting them open, but not just doing a little bit of stitches.
Well, it's probably, I mean, anyone can cut someone. I mean, I could walk out this door right now and cut someone open. But stitching someone back up is way harder.
I mean, if you're going to learn sleight of hand and, pig gut magic tricks, I think the least you could do is learn to close them up. But, Andy Kaufman?
Yeah.
He famously died from lung cancer, right? But the reason that happened is that he went to the Philippines for 6 weeks of psychic surgery. And then when he came back, he died like a month later.
So he got scammed by this.
Yeah, I mean, or it was for a bit. I don't know. He was kind of like a comedic genius. So I don't know. I feel like Andy Kaufman would have been smarter than that. But there's theories that he faked his death or whatever. So I mean, we could probably do a whole episode on like celebrities faking their deaths.
I have heard that, but who I can't think of anyone else who like plausibly faked their death.
John Lennon.
Is that plausible?
How did he die?
He went to a psychic surgeon in Brazil.
What about JFK? Famously died to a psychic surgeon in the back of a car.
Famously died performing psychic surgery in a car.
Psychic brain surgery.
Psychic surgeon sounds like a trading card.
It does. It sounds like something you play in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
But that's all I really have about psychic surgery. It's stupid, but
I like it.
Don't go for surgery in Brazil or the Philippines.
It's funny because I kind of talked about this on the previous podcast, which nobody is allowed to listen to anymore, I'm afraid.
Unless you scroll down in the episode list.
No, that's impossible. A common topic on the Joe Rogan Experience is basically what is called medical tourism, where people will travel around to these other countries to like get testosterone shots and like weird non-FDA approved medical procedures that they think are a good idea because Joe Rogan or whoever told them it was a good idea. So they'll go to Brazil to get it done. But what they don't realize is that when you go to Brazil to get a medical procedure, you may run into a psychic surgeon.
I feel like medical tourism is probably okay for some things. Like if you went to South Korea for like plastic surgery, that's probably not going to be the same thing as getting psychic surgery done in Brazil. Or yeah, you know what I mean. Or getting like a hair transplant from wherever they do it, somewhere in the Middle East.
You're right. I think it heavily depends on what country you're visiting. Do you think they have psychic plastic surgeons in South Korea where the like K-pop idol just walks out looking exactly the same?
They just gaslight them into thinking they look different.
Yeah. You're like, wow, your your chin is so small now.
You look just like Jenny from Blackpink now. Congratulations.
They like shave a bar of soap with like a pocket knife, and the person sees like the filings like flying off. They're like, wow, it's working.
they're just throwing like confetti around in their peripheral vision.
I have repeatedly told Crystal Camel to do an episode on K-pop related conspiracies, but he has so far refused.
Mostly because explaining it would sound way more schizo than the Hollow Earth episode, and I wanna stay on the straight and narrow. I don't wanna get too deep in there. Because if I do K-pop conspiracies, I'm gonna believe every single one of them, and I'm gonna get in trouble again.
Here's what I'm talking to the audience now, not to you. Send us an email if you think Crystal Camel should do an episode on K-pop tinfoil hat conspiracy theories. I will leave it to the listeners.
I mean, I feel like we could do one on just like regular music conspiracies.
That's true, like Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, replaced.
But that's a whole other topic. What are we moving on to here?
We're moving on to energy holograms.
What does this have to do with medicine?
Okay, so have you ever had like a magnetic bracelet or like a copper bracelet or like, you know, some sort of bracelet that said it would you know, increase your athletic capabilities, like give you better energy or whatever?
Despite the fact that I played baseball throughout my entire childhood and teen years, I have never worn a magnetic bracelet that claimed to improve balance, and I'm proud of myself for that.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do, yes.
Right. Well, these are completely fake, and that's what this is about. So energy holograms, it's basically just those, but they got like a little piece of foil under like a plastic dome or whatever, and it's like, ooh, there's a hologram in there, and they say it optimizes your energy flow and your stats, and in reality it doesn't do a damn thing besides make you look like the coolest kid on the playground.
Do they make you better at baseball?
No, it doesn't make you better at anything, and it doesn't really help that top athletes like Ronaldo and Shaq have like actually endorsed it, and like even entire sports teams have like partnered with the manufacturers of these. It's because it's all fake. Huh.
I think Ronaldo should become a proponent of psychic surgery as well.
If you get an injury on the field, don't worry. We got a top-notch magic surgeon standing by. He's gonna fix you right up.
I think Shaq should also get in on this. He has all kinds of business ventures.
Shaq probably just did it for the money. He probably doesn't believe in it. Shaq endorses a lot of things.
Have you been to one of his chicken establishments?
Not yet, but we should go next time we meet up.
They're actually good. I've been to one. There's one in well, I can't say where without compromising our location here in DC, but it's actually pretty good.
I heard they're actually gonna put one in the White House.
I'd love that. So I guess the basic like what is the logic behind them being real? Like what does Big Magnet claim is going on here with these bracelets?
It improves your energy and your chi, like your Goku, and it makes you good and does better. But you know, it's all just to sell you like a fraction of a penny's worth of like rubber and plastic for like a couple dollars profit. And that works because, you know, they've been selling these like forever.
Huh. You don't really see these too much anymore.
I feel like you do. You just like you tune it out of your brain because you know it's stupid. But I swear if you go to any like gas station, it's gonna be like on the counter.
Huh. Maybe I just don't see them anymore now that my baseball days are long behind me.
Your baseball and soccer and basketball days.
Yeah, I think now that I'm no longer an athlete.
You're on like every team but football.
I was an amazing, incredible athlete.
Incredible junior varsity athlete.
And now I'm applying those same skills to the sport of podcasting. If you listen to a lot of podcasts, you've no doubt heard of the Ridge wallet. The Ridge wallet is a sleek, minimalist metal wallet that lets you do more with less. It also claims to be RFID blocking. However, this is completely false. The Ridge wallet is incapable of protecting anything in it from radio frequency identification. This is because the technology they use to supposedly do this is fake and was created by the CIA. Are you now paranoid that someone will steal your information right out of your wallet? You should be, but don't worry, because that's where today's sponsor comes in. The Ruby Ridge wallet has real RFID blocking that protects your cards and isn't a backdoor for the federal government. It's used by CIA field agents in other countries, not CIA field agents who spy on domestic targets. The Ruby Ridge wallet is the last wallet you'll ever buy, and if I see a listener of this show using a regular Ridge wallet instead, I'll punch them in the sternum. Thank you.
That brings us to our next topic: vaginal steaming, or V steaming, if you're chill like that. That is what it's called sometimes. I Miss Gwyneth Paltrow, I know you value your feminine energy, and you do constant grueling work to revitalize your uterus. So you should probably have already known about this one. But basically, you make a nice stew of herbs and spices, like you're a witch or a sorceress.
Okay.
You bring it to a nice boil, get it all frothing, steamy, and then you just let it hang, girlfriend. Take a squat. Just inhale with your whole business. Let it marinate within all the nooks and granny crannies.
Now, what are the supposed benefits of this?
Depends on who you ask. There's not really consensus. It either makes it nice and tight, or I don't know really. It's really kind of esoteric language. It's very arbitrary. It's just supposed to improve your womanhood.
Now, does Gwyneth Paltrow have any sort of product connected to this under her Goop brand? Is that where this is coming from?
No, she just recommended it in Goop magazine or whatever it's called.
Oh, she just freely is giving this out as advice.
Yeah, I mean, if you know anything about Gwyneth Paltrow's company Goop, or just Gwyneth Paltrow herself, she's the epitome of just like crazy pseudoscience white woman. She would probably shoot herself in the head with like a 357 Magnum if she thought it would improve her chi flow or whatever.
Now, how do I put this? What will actually happen if you steam your vagina?
If anything, you will have either accidentally burned yourself, you gotten an infection, or maybe you are now finding out what an allergic reaction feels like way up in there. Congratulations.
Right, because it's not just water. You say you need some sort of stew.
Yeah, it's like wormwood smoke, and yeah, it's a bunch of weird roots and stuff you're throwing in there, and it's gonna if the vapors got in your eyes, it would probably hurt. So if it's gonna go up inside your body, it's probably gonna do worse. This is a thing that's been done like all over Asia and Africa and like Central America, but you know these days the overwhelming majority demographic of this is white women. So there you go.
So this is not a Gwyneth Paltrow original. This is something that she just has picked up on.
Just something that she goes to a nice and expensive Santa Monica spa. She sits on a nice golden throne, and they put a nice golden pot under her. She just lets the steam go up in there.
Excuse me, I need to go to my vaginal steam chamber for the day. There really is something with rich people. I think when you're really rich, you basically have all of your like what is it called? Like the Maslow hierarchy of needs. You've pretty much got it all covered. You've got it all down. So I think rich people, the next step for them is essentially trying to achieve immortality and like perfect optimal health. So they get into all this weird stuff. And it's not just like Gwyneth Paltrow and like Joe Rogan who do these sorts of things. It's kind of like the big hobby for like really high income people to get into like weird health stuff. And they also have a lot of money, obviously. So they're targeted by these sorts of like weird scams.
Yeah, that reminds me. There was another thing I saw while researching for this. It's called the Young Blood Transfusion.
Yes.
Where so basically if you put younger blood into an older person, that's supposed to be better, I guess. I could probably believe that the elite do this. I'm not gonna judge them. It sounds like it's sound theory to me.
No, I remember I looked into this.
Oh, did you?
And like there really are no confirmed health benefits of just switching out some of your blood for a younger person's blood. However, the conspiracy, of course, is that they're covering up the benefits so that other poor people don't find out, and they can keep the secret to immortality safe.
And then there's what's it called when they crack open the fetus and they suck the juice out of it?
I don't know what that's called. That might not have a name. You may have just come up with that right now.
No, it's the something cells. You know what I'm talking about. This one's a real thing.
Wait, you mean stem cells?
Yeah, stem cells. That one's real. I don't think that one's a pseudoscience.
No, shooting yourself up with stem cells also has no real proven benefits.
Oh, okay. Well, what if you mix it into a nice applesauce?
Well, people do that with people will eat placenta for supposedly it's healthy.
Basically, all medicine is fake unless it's like a pill.
I mean, there are some things that are like real. Like we were talking about this before, actually. Like if you'd never heard about this before at all, and you just said, okay, lavender can reduce anxiety. That sounds like it should be a nonsense Gwyneth Paltrow, Joe Rogan type thing, but it is like provably real. So there are some things that happen to be real. I think that's kind of how people get like sucked in.
So people are confusing like real science with something that sounds equally dumb, and then they're like, yeah, why wouldn't drinking a young boy's piss do well for me?
Exactly. Which is that might be the best episode of Nathan for You, by the way.
That brings us to our next topic: urine drinking. Have you ever drank your own piss or somebody else's piss?
I have never drank my own piss. However, I once went camping with my friend, and we were like walking through the wood. This is real. This is not like a bit.
Yeah.
We were just walking around, and he was like, the whole time he was like, I'm gonna drink my own piss, like Bear Grylls. Like, I'm gonna drink my own piss. And I was like, you're not gonna drink your own piss. And then he's like, enough. I'm gonna show you. And he really just peed right into the water bottle and just drank it, and he spit it out, and he said it was disgusting.
Well, yeah, that's called urophagia when you drink piss. And despite what Bear Grylls says, you shouldn't do it, even in emergencies. You want to know why? Same reason why you don't drink the ocean. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink, right? It's the salt. You should not drink piss. It dehydrates you even more because of the salt in it. Don't drink it.
So Bear Grylls was wrong.
Bear Grylls is wrong. The guy who got trapped under a boulder or whatever, he was wrong. Don't drink your own piss. Just chill.
Well, now wait a minute. What I recall from watching Bear Grylls on the Discovery Channel as a child, which, first of all, that show freaked me out as a kid. I thought I was going to get lost somewhere and die. But basically, what I remember him doing is he would piss on like a bandana or something, and then he'd like squeeze the bandana. Would that not solve this whole problem and give you like huge hydration from piss?
No. What does squeezing it from the bandana solve?
I mean, he's a survival expert. I mean,
Being stupid enough and surviving a bunch of like dangerous situations doesn't make you like a doctor. It doesn't make you smart.
now what are the supposed benefits of drinking your own piss?
You know, just restoring your vitality or your libido or energy. You know, all these really arbitrary terms. But in the Middle East, the Bedouins, they have a really cool practice where they take a camel, right? Crystal camel, my name.
Oh.
And they take its piss, and yeah, it's said to treat hair loss, and it's been found to combat cancer. But that was from a Saudi Arabian study, so maybe I don't know if you want to trust it. Maybe they're trying to justify drinking camel piss. The World Health Organization, WHO, they kind of say you should not be drinking camel piss or camel milk. But the Prophet Muhammad himself, blessed be his name, praise be upon him, he said that it's good. He said you should.
He did?
Yeah. And so have many Islamic figures. They say camel piss is great. You should do it all the time.
Wait, was Muhammad drinking his own piss or was he drinking camel piss?
I mean, he was just saying that if you're sick, maybe you should just drink camel piss until you're better.
Oh.
I don't want to misquote him, and I'm sorry if I did, but that's that. I think I believe that's essentially what he said. It comes out as like a thick syrup because they have like different kidneys and stuff from us. It's not it's like a syrup, and you can like spread it on your pita bread or waffles or whatever. And sometimes they mix it with camel milk, so they're just kind of you're getting a lot of use out of the weird sand cow.
So in Dune, they piss in the still suit,
right?
And it has like a filter recycling system that basically lets them drink it. So that's just based on real life desert dwellers.
Yeah, I mean, if you just like take the salt out of your piss, it's probably fine. That'll probably be good for you. I mean, that's probably all the still suit does. It just makes it, probably adds in a bit of sweetness to it, takes out the salt. That's kind of it.
Interesting. Now, ever since I got kidney stones, I've been obsessed with hydration and pissing.
Right, you went through quite the ordeal. You got like a laser stuck up in there.
It was horrible. It was definitely the worst thing that's ever happened to me physically.
Yeah, I learned that I was capable of like new levels of empathy after like learning what you went through.
Thank you. How many ounces of water do you drink per day?
Well, actually, I just replaced my water with diet soda.
I will say though that I avoid the water cooler here at work because I don't like talking to the other people in this department because they're very creepy.
Oh, I avoid it because I thought they put fluoride in it.
Oh, it's heavily fluoridated. If you are listening to this episode of state-sponsored conspiracy podcast the day it's being posted, then that means tomorrow is tax day. Uh-oh, taxes, everyone. This is not an ad read. This is a public service announcement. Because this podcast is funded by the government, we have access to listener information the normal podcast does not. The following listeners have not yet filed their 2022 taxes: Ryan Spates, Eric Ferguson, Anna Harrington, Tanner Kimura, Emily Nelson, and Dennis Coles, better known as Ghostface Killa. You've all been warned. End of PSA. Well, you can't drink your own piss to cure cancer. Is there anything that does work that you found?
Well, there's stuff like you know chiropractors?
Yes.
That is also a pseudoscience. Like that is not like real.
People don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of I try to explain that to people. Like my mom, she goes to a chiropractor. I'm like, that's not real. Real doctors don't make you sign like waivers for like a standard visit, you know? if a doctor accidentally kills you, if a doctor snaps your neck, you sue them for malpractice. If a chiropractor does it, you can't do a damn thing. They're not a real doctor.
I've had this conversation with people in real life before too. And I think chiropractic, whatever, I think it is basically the biggest, it's like the biggest pseudoscience industry.
It is such a scam. There's there's a bunch of things that are related to chiropractic and called there's like bone setting, there's all these different things like posture therapy or whatever.
Bone setting.
Yeah, all these things that involve people touching your body and like pulling on you and pushing on you. None of that is real. It's just not. It doesn't do anything. Even if you have anecdotal evidence, there's no consistent science to it. Don't put your faith in people who do not have real degrees.
Anything that there is like a YouTube ASMR genre of is probably not real medicine.
If you've seen a video of a chiropractor like snap someone's neck and you thought, ooh, that looks kind of gnarly, that looks wrong, it's because it is. You should trust your gut on that one. It's messed up.
Yeah, and I like how there's so many like big YouTube channels that are just chiropractors like filming their visits.
It really is just like, it's like a snuff film.
It is.
Another thing I want to say about pseudoscience is acupuncture. All right. Now, this is controversial because acupuncture, a lot of people do it. It's a old Chinese secret, but it's not real. Like, I'm sure everybody has stories. My dad does acupuncture. Acupuncture can like interact with some, specific nerves and pressure points, but it's not like completely real. And that's all I really want to say about it, because I don't want to get in trouble with the CCP.
Now, what about cupping?
Cupping is also pseudoscience.
One time when I was in college, I had a roommate who was from China, and I walked in on him and his friend. Like, he was sitting there like with his shirt off, and his friend was doing the cupping, which, if you don't know, is essentially putting these like plastic cups on your back, and then you sort of suck the air out of it, so it like pulls up on your skin. So you're left with like this clear cup of like skin, and then you like heat it up or something.
Yeah.
There's like a flame involved. And I walked in on this and I was like so weirded out. I was like, is this like a sex thing happening? Like, what's going on here? And they were just like, oh, hello, haha. And I left.
A lot of this alternative medicine stuff, it all kind of just boils down to someone touching you and have you think good thoughts or just kind of vibe with it. And then, there you go. A couple $1,000s later, couple weeks, couple months, nothing improves because you didn't believe in the chi or the ozone thought field or whatever. You can sit in a box for 30 minutes a day and meditate. You can pay a guy to give you over the phone voice technology therapy. You can pay someone to point little lasers at your chakras and change your chakra colors. None of it's gonna do anything. Go see a doctor. Go see a general practitioner. Or a psychologist. Either of them. Don't use healing crystals. Don't drink snake oil jelly juice. Alright, it's not going to regrow your limbs. Don't consult a psychic or a guru. Do not go to a chiropractor. Guess what? It's fake. Just drink water. Just drink more water. Like, that's it. Drink water and stand up more.
Now, I will say this. Now that you're doling out medical advice, I'm gonna add this. A lot of people, when they make videos talking about this, they'll say, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. And you see it with like financial videos too. They'll say, oh, disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. So people don't try to sue them whenever cryptocurrency they're promoting collapses. But here's what I'm going to say. We are giving you official medical advice. I am a doctor. Anything you do based on what we say in this episode can be held against us. You can come at us with the full force of the law. I accept complete responsibility. And so does Crystal Camel.
We accept responsibility for telling you to drink water and go to a real doctor. We do not feel bad about telling you that.
Exactly. And what are you going to do? Sue us in courts? The courts that are owned by the government?
You gonna sue the government, idiot?
Exactly. Suing the government is how people end up mysteriously crashing into trees at 90 miles per hour. You know what I mean?
We're gonna kill you.
You listening to this.
We're gonna kill you.
Is that the end of now that you've told people to drink water and threatened to kill them? Is that the end of your research into medical fraud and conspiracies?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I thought there was gonna be something, I don't know, maybe a bit cooler, maybe more higher up, but it really is just people scamming idiots by saying, okay, I'm gonna put my hands on you now and infuse you with mystical energy. And people believe it every time. I don't know why.
People scamming idiots. Those are the best conspiracies, and those are the conspiracies that we want to be talking about on this program.
I feel I feel mad.
I understand. I understand. You were so mad you threatened to kill the audience.
I'm so mad I'm gonna kill you, listener.
Now this is kind of awkward because I'm gonna pivot now from you threatening them to me asking them nicely to rate us 5 stars and comment, like, and subscribe.
And make sure to hit that notification bell and make sure to add us to your RSS feed and make sure to sign up to our newsletter.
Exactly. Buy the album. Make sure to subscribe because there's a lot of big stuff coming up with the live tour.
SSCP.gov. Look for our live tour dates. Buy tickets. Buy shirts. Buy merch. And thank you to our sponsors at
the Ruby Ridge Wallet. And yeah, stay tuned.